Hey everyone, and welcome to today's lesson. We're going to do Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. Absolutely beautiful song, really simple, nice 6/8 time signature song. So it's just a really cool time signature to play in, very much a ballad time signature as I call it. Right, let's begin. The general idea of the song is this 6/8 picking pattern. You get that down and you get the chords together, you've got, gold dust. It sounds really cool. Okay, so first of all, we'll play a C major chord and we'll do the 6/8 pattern. So make sure your C major sounds good. The pattern then is going to be A string with a thumb, G string index, B string middle, high E string ring finger, B string middle, G string index. So 6 plucks, that's the 6 in 6/8, the time signature. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 1 and the 4 you do want to pluck slightly harder because that's where the beat is. That's where you tap your foot or nod your head. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you can tap your foot and nod your head, then great. Don't worry about it for now. You can bring it in later if not. So with the foot tapping, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, you can get into the groove. The sooner you can get into the groove, the better. Okay. So start with the C major and we do 2 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The count from 1 to 6 is 1 bar. So that there was just 2 bars because we counted from 1 to 6 twice. Okay, so once we've done the C major, we go to A minor and play exactly the same picking pattern. The only thing that will change throughout the song is what bass note you pluck. It depends on the chord, because you're always plucking root notes. So A minor, the root note is on the A string. So we start on the A string. And pluck the same pattern. So it's A string, G string, B string, high E, B, G. Or in terms of numbers, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So 2 bars of C, 2 bars of A minor, which is like this then. Okay, and then we move on to F. Now there's a few ways you can play your F. As you know, I'm quite a fan of playing the F, the 4-finger version like this. Now, if you struggle with any of the bar versions of F, you can play this one. But you're going to have to bar across the top 2 strings, at least, because you need this high E string. So this version would be like this. Ring finger, 3rd fret A string, pinky, 3rd fret D string, middle finger, 2nd fret G string, and then index barring across the high E and the B strings. That's an option. You'd have to pluck from the A string. For this one. Okay, the other option is to play the big full bar if you can do it. If you can't, great. Now, you don't actually need the A string and the D string because you're not picking them in this song. So what you can do is just get rid of them. So what you're going to be doing instead is barring across all 6 strings with the index finger across the 1st fret. And the middle finger is going to go 2nd fret on the G string, which looks like that. Okay, it doesn't matter whether those 2 fingers are on, because they're not needed. So that makes it slightly easier. Now you might have seen what I did in the playthrough at the beginning. When I get to the F, instead of going from the A minor straight to the F, putting both fingers down, basically I put the index finger down first, because that's the note I needed on that low E string. And then I position my middle finger. You can even just put your index finger down, play that note, then get the middle finger down, and then get the rest of the bar down. So you're doing it in sequence basically, putting your fingers down as you need them. So that, middle finger down, and then the bar down. That's an option, and that's a great thing about picking, because you're not strumming all the chord. Because you're not strumming the strings all at the same time, you can afford to break it up into stages. So that would look like going from the A minor like this. that's an option there. So you've got two options of playing the F. You've got the awkward 4-finger version, which is great normally, but this time you've got a bar across the top 2 strings. So it makes it an awkward chord. I mean, normally that F is great when you don't have to play that high E string and you could just kill it off. But in this song, we need it flattened. So that could be awkward. Or you've got the alternate version, which is the standard bar minus the ring fingers and pinky. So take your pick which one you like there. But when we go to the G, generally I'll play the G with these 2 fingers, ring and pinky, because that's all we need. You know, if you go ring and pinky like this, ring finger 3rd fret low E string, pinky 3rd fret high E string, you're getting your ring finger in position just to drop down to come back to the C chord for the next bar, which is great. It makes that change easier. I call this the folk version, the Cat Stevens G, because he likes to change from G to C a lot. So when you go from G to C, you got a nice easy change, rather than this middle and ring fingers, and then you got to bring that ring finger all the way down from the high E string all the way to the A string. That's a big change. This version, nice easy change. So try that if you ain't done it before. And then you go back to the C. So basically what you've got so far is 2 bars on the C, 2 bars on the A minor, 2 bars on the F, and then 2 bars on the G. And I tend to finger it like this. So C, standard, A minor, standard, F. I recommend trying that bar if you can do it with just the middle finger on top. And then your G, your ring and pinky fingers on. Okay, so once you've done those 4 chords, so C twice, A minor twice, F twice, G twice, go back to C twice, A minor twice, and then G for 4 bars. Okay, now that's the verse, and all of that is repeated, except for the very last time. Instead of doing 4 bars of G, you can do 2 bars of G, and then 2 bars of G7, which would be like this. And to do the G7, all you're going to do is play index finger 1st fret high E string, ring finger 3rd fret low E string. So again, this folk version, this Cat Stevens version of G, works in our favour because it means our index finger, all it has to do is just go on that 1st fret high E string, which is lovely. Rather than, if you're going from standard way of playing G, then you've got to move your fingers around and it's a big jump. So that G is a nice change. Okay, so that's the verse then. You've got that alternate version the second time round at the end where you did it G7 instead of the G. You don't always have to do that, you could just play it exactly the same both times round. Okay, and now you've got your chorus. Now, I call this section the chorus. It's a bit where, you know, he starts blasting out, I need your love, and Godspeed your love, and all that sort of stuff. So all we got here is 2 bars of C, 2 bars of G, 2 bars of A minor, 2 bars of E minor. Okay, that's the first half of the chorus. Let's play that. Okay, nice and easy that bit, and then you go F for 2 bars, awkward, and G for 2 bars. Okay, that's your chorus. Now there's a little link section now, which is just 4 bars, and all that is C to C7, 2 bars on each. Now C7 is played like an ordinary C, but you put your pinky on, 3rd fret of the G string. Yeah, that real bluesy kind of sound, that's cool. So this link section looks like this. 2 bars C, 2 bars C7. And that's a nice little bit there. That links really nicely into the bridge. Now we've got the bridge, which is a really cool part of the song. It's where he sings Lonely Rivers Flow, and it's a really nice little bit. They're using standard chords here in the bridge of C, G, F and E flat. Okay, the E flat you're going to have to play slightly differently. You can play all these chords down here in this area, but because it's a bridge, it's nice to bring it up a little bit, make it sound like a bridge, change it up and play it higher. So what I tend to do for this bridge is this. Play it all the way up here. Now I do a little bit of an interesting chord voicing on that, because you can play it as bar chords up here like this. Using the standard A major shape, which is cool, but it's quite difficult. So if you want to just simplify it a little bit, you can use this interesting chord voicing where we're using just 2 fingers. And this, to be honest, is very much inspired by what Paul McCartney does in Blackbird. Uses the open G string throughout, along with 2 fretted notes. So it works really well, because what you've got basically is the bridge of F, G, F, E flat. And what we do is go to the 8th fret A string with the index finger, and then the 10th fret B string with the ring finger. Now this is an F major chord voicing. Ordinarily, if you was playing it as a bar, it would be like this. Your ring finger would be playing across the D string, G string and B string at the 10th fret. An index finger would be on the A string. But we're just using 2 fingers to simplify it a little bit. The G string is going to be played as open. What we're going to do is do this with a picking pattern. So you're plucking the A and the B strings together, then the G string with the index finger, and then the A string with the thumb again. That's your first 3 plucks. That's 1, 2, 3. And then your next 3 plucks are B string again, G string, and then A string. And that's your 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's exactly the same 3 plucks each time. Just the very first time you add a bass pluck in with the thumb. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again. So it's A and B together, G, A. B on its own, G, A. That's the picking pattern throughout this bridge. That first one, the first bar is the F. We're going to do 1 bar on each chord here, so it's going to move things forward quite nicely. So it starts with the F. The reason why it's F, because that note there, 8th fret, A string is F. Helps if you know the notes on the fretboard here. Then the next chord is G, so we're going to move that up now to the 10th fret, because that note there on the A string, 10th fret, is a G. And then back to the F, 8th fret. And then we're going to go to E flat, which is 6th fret. So index finger 6th fret, ring finger 8th fret. Nice chord, that is interesting. Nice out of key chord, but nicely done, nicely brought in. Okay, so we'll go through that again. That's the first half of the bridge, and now we're going to go back to the F, back to the G, and then 3rd fret with the index and 5th fret with the ring finger for a C. And that's for 2 bars, so just double it up on that C. Okay, then you repeat. So altogether the bridge is like this. Second time, you probably want to cut that last bar short on the C. So you repeat all of that and then do this the second time. Come from the G to the C. And just give it a little bit of a ring out before now the drums kick in, it gets loud and it goes back to the verse. So the song really sort of ramps up there at that point after the bridge finishes and we come into the verse. In terms of structure, it's all simple. You've learned all the parts now. You've learned the verse, you've learnt the chorus, you've learnt the bridge. All you're going to do now is go back to the verse, play exactly like we did before, play the chorus exactly like before, and then we're going to do a little outro. And the outro again, it's very much based around the verse with a couple of nice chords at the end. So once you've done that chorus, you're going to go to the outro, which is C 2 bars, A minor 2 bars, and then it gets quite interesting. So let's do the C and the A minor. And now we're going to the F. And a nice dramatic outro there. What we just done there was, did the C and then the A minor, 2 bars of each. Then the F, we start to slow down the tempo for the 1 bar of the F. And then take your middle finger off. So now we're barring across all 6 strings. This is quite tough here. And it becomes an F minor minus these 2 fingers here, the ring and the pinky. And what you do is pluck the low E string, G string, B string and high E with your thumb, index, middle and ring. And you do that 6 times. And slow it down as you're doing it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then onto the C. And a nice loud pinch there. You can do the same pinch on the C, but this time root note on the A string. So A string, G string, B string, high E. Pluck it nice and loud and bold, or you can do a strum. I like the pinch. And then you can do the rock and roll ending if you want, where you just give it a wild strum and a smash and stop the sound. That's if you want to be nice and dramatic. Okay, that's the whole song in terms of structure, in terms of parts. You've got it all. Okay, there's not a lot else you can change with it really. You could strum different parts if you want. You don't have to pick it. You could do a 6/8 strum, so it could be like that sort of thing, where it's a bit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And to do that strum, all you do is strum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you strum loudly on 1 across all the 5 strings or 6 strings or whatever chord you're on. Then 2, 3, partial quieter strums on the bassy strings. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4 loud again across all the strings. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a fun way to mix it up, adding some strumming in there. So you don't have to pick the whole song. For instance, when it gets louder after the bridge, you know, where it just ramps up and the drums kick in, you could probably go into strumming there and really ramp it up if you're performing this one live. So it'd be kind of like. Sort of thing. But don't forget, when you get to the F, if you're doing that big strum, you're going to need all the fingers on the proper chord, so you can't be doing the partial chord. So that's when I'll probably go back to that 4-finger version, the version I like, where low E and high E strings are muted. That one works. Or you can do the big full bar if you're really clever and you can show off and do that, then that's great. But that there is all the song, all the parts. I hope you have fun with that one, because it's an absolutely beautiful song, and it makes me smile every time I hear it. I always think of the film Ghost. I'm watching that as a kid, but I love this song. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. It's just so lovely. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed that, and I'll see you in a video soon. Cheers. Bye bye.